Welcome to Ms.perna's class.
Hi everybody, welcome. Today we're starting Intro to Metals and we will be embossing on thin aluminum sheets. What that is, it's a very, very thin piece of aluminum that has two sides. One will be gold, one will be silver, and you will be working the metal from both sides. Whenever you work with metal, or even paper from both sides, pressing into it, it's called embossing. Now, if you were to work from the back of your piece, if you were to work from the back and try to press objects out, for example, the edges of these letters is what's called repose. Repose is when you are pressing from the back to make something appear 3D on the front. You can do that using any kind of shapes. You can make little dots and circles, and when you would flip it over, it will have a beautiful raised effect. So that is what happens when you work from the back of your project. If you're working in the front of your project and you're pressing into the metal, it's called chasing. You're chasing the design into the metal, pushing it into the surface of the metal. So when you take chasing and repose and put them together, that is called embossing. So today what we're going to do is we're going to go over what tools we need to do metal work. One of the first tools that I like to use is a nice thick piece of fun foam. It'll act like a cushion and allow you to press into the metal and create some really beautiful designs. If you don't have fun foam or any kind of thick foam like this, a nice little stack of newspapers, little pieces of newspaper stacked together as a little pillow will also work great. This is the metal we work with. It is a nice thin metal. Let me just explain, there's also a couple of tools you can use. Now, one of the first things you can use is good old little sharpened stick. These work great. The only problem is you need to be careful not to press with that little pointy end through the metal. You can actually what's called pierce the metal and send the end of your stick right on through the metal itself because it is not very thick. The next tool, good old-fashioned pencil. I like to use a nice thick beginner's pencil because it allows you to press pretty deeply into the metal, and because it's a little more blunt, not as pointy, it won't pierce the metal as badly. Some of the other tools I've used and we could use to create thinner designs, you can use a ballpoint pen. Sometimes the ink will come off on it, sometimes they are used up, but they give you a nice tiny line. These are also embossing tools. They're actually for doing nail designs for people who do painting on fingernails. But I think they work great as a stylus to draw with, and it has a nice little round ball that will also draw in the metal. So those are our different tools. Another tool we will be using is we will be using some sandpaper. Sandpaper will be used to age our artwork and make it appear older and more finished. Something more like a relic or something that would be found by scientists when they are studying, anthropologists studying a people, they'll find jewelry. Archaeologists will find jewelry, and it'll have a very old look to it because it's been buried a long, long time. So we can get that effect by using sandpaper or this stuff, which is called steel wool. And all steel wool is, it's teeny tiny wires of metal, little pieces of steel, all woven together into like a cotton ball, and it will remove some of the surface of the gold and create scratches on the face of the design. So those are the tools we'll be using, and in a few minutes I'll show you how to use them.